Next comes the slime molds. Slime molds, these are the consumer decomposer protists, and these are saprophytes, means they have saprophytic mode of nutrition, that is they obtain their food from dead and decaying organisms, and their body moves along decaying twigs and leaves, and they engulf the organic material from them. Under favorable conditions, the slime molds they aggregate to form a plasmodium. यानी favorable conditions में the slime molds they join together, they aggregate and they form a structure called plasmodium. And this plasmodium grows and spreads over several feet of area, and during unfavorable conditions the plasmodium they differentiate and they form the fruiting bodies which bear spores at their tips, and the spores they possess, these spores they possess a true cell wall, and these can survive in extremely resistant conditions. They can resist extremes of environment, and they can survive for many years under adverse conditions. And these spores they are very light and they can be dispersed by air currents. Examples of the slime molds are Physarum, Fuligo, and Dictyostelium. Next category is protozoans. Next in Protista comes the protozoans. All the protozoans they are heterotrophs, they cannot prepare their own food, and they either they live as predators or parasites. Parasites means they obtain their food from the body of other living organisms, and these are further divided into the four groups. The four major groups of the protozoans are: the first is amoeboid protozoans. These amoeboid protozoans they can live in fresh water or the sea water, and these are also found in the moist soil. They capture their food and they move with the help of the false foot like structure called pseudopodia. They have pseudopodia for locomotion as well as for capturing the food particles. For example, amoeba. Some marine forms. Some marine forms they have silica shells on their surface, and some of them, for example, ant amoeba, they live as parasites on the body of other living organisms. And next comes the second is the flagellated protozoans. The members of this group either they are free living or they live as parasites. They have flagella for locomotion, they possess flagella for locomotion, and they have many parasitic forms which cause several diseases in other organisms. Examples are giardia, which causes a disease, giardiasis. And another example is Leishmania donovani, which causes Kala Azar, and that is the dum fever. Another example is trypanosoma. The third type of protozoans are ciliated protozoans, which are aquatic. They are actively moving organisms and they possess cilia all over their body, which help in locomotion. They have a cavity which is called gullet, and that opens to outside of the cell surface, means these cavity opens to the outside of the cell surface. Example of ciliated protozoan is paramecium. The fourth type of protozoans are saprozoans, and these saprozoans, they have a infectious spore-like stage in their life cycle. The example of sporozoan is malarial parasite, which causes malaria. Malarial parasite, Plasmodium. Another example is monocystis. So sporozoans, mostly they are not sporozoans. All the four classes of protozoans, they are endoparasites, and they are pathogenic also. They live as parasites inside the body of living organisms, and they are pathogenic, means disease causing organisms.